confuse you as well. All right, so let's get straight into assignment 3. Assignment 3, of course, you know the instructions more or less. You basically work in your groups to put together a lesson plan using the box framework, and then that must connect or inform a 15-minute micro teaching session or mini lesson on a topic of your choice, of your group's choice. Of course, you know, the lesson plan should have been submitted to us at least up to last night. And so so that's that. So we do that in accordance. So the lesson that you micro teaching session that you do today should be informed by that lesson plan. All right, with minor tweaks here and there depending on how things go. Following that, of course, you're gonna get during this session, you're gonna get some feedback from your peers and also from Dr. Jones and I along the way, whether it's verbally or online. Verbally meaning, well, verbally, but online meaning we do have a form for everyone because we know reflection and feedback is a big part of over very quickly the groups that we have, group 3 and group 4. All right. And group 5 and group 6. Give you 1 minute, I guess, while other persons are completing the form.
Yes.
Okay, but you guys could do it.
All right. Let me get the other. Who are the people in this group? Who are the people in your family?
Patricia, Pamela, Priscilla.
Okay, thanks. Let me pull up your lesson plan.
Yes, we can hear you. So let us know when you're ready to start, and we will
Are you seeing these full screen?
I'm seeing part of a screen. I don't know.
You're seeing parts or full?
I'm seeing some blocks in between. I don't know if it's just on my screen. Dr. Jones, you could verify.
Could you say that again, please?
Are you seeing their slide or what are you seeing on your screen?
I'm seeing enter 001, unit 1, introduction to business planning.
Okay. Is it the full screen you're seeing?
Yes, I'm seeing.
You seeing it better now?
Yes,
I'm seeing it wider now, full screen now.
Okay.
Yes.
I just have to do a slight adjustment. Oh, it's not giving me that option. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we could see everything now. Just let us know when you're ready to start. And
I'll let you know 1 sec. Okay, all right. And you guys will see my video?
You have a video up? No, I'm only seeing what you have in front, the PowerPoint.
Okay, group 2 members, are you guys ready?
You should have. This is the first camera on. Okay, all right, Michelle. Okay, I see you.
Can we get a sound check from everyone, please?
Yes.
Nice.
Shiva?
Yes.
Patricia?
Yes.
Pamela? Okay.
Excellent. So you ready to go?
We are ready to begin.
All right, I like that little check you did there. Very good. All right, everyone. So group 1 did a very good, an amazing job. And not to be outdone, we have with us, no pressure, by the way. We have group 2. And group 2 comprises Priscilla, Patricia, Rachel, Shiva, and Pamela. All right, and group 2, take it away.
Good afternoon, class. How are you guys doing? We are here to start our program with ENTR 1001, Introduction to Business Planning. But before I begin, I just want to make sure that everyone is familiar with our team. We have Priscilla, Patricia, Shiva Kumar, Pamela, and myself, Rachel. So before we dive into this concept of business planning, let's talk about Darlene. Darlene woke up one morning excited and frantic at the same time. What date it is? What date it is? She checks the calendar. Whoa, breathes a sign of relief. 14th of January, still time. Why is that date important? It's her birthday. What does she want to do? She wants to plan a party. Yes, Darlene wants to make sure that she has a great time on this party to celebrate her birthday. But how does Darlene go about planning this party? What does she need? What does she need to put into place? So, class, you tell me, if you need to plan a party, what are some of the elements or the items you need to put into place to plan your party? Put it in the chat. We're looking out. Food, of course, we need to eat. What else? Drinks, invitations, because we need people, friends, venue. Do you guys plan to do the work all by yourself? All these serving, cleanup, DJing, you plan to do everything, but you need a team. That's right, guys. So what it is, whenever you are planning a party, what it is you would need to do is that you need to organize your budget, your guest list, your menu, your venue, program, staff. These are all vital components of planning a party. These, however, are also components of a business plan. Yes, guys, believe it or not, when you plan a party or any event, you are essentially implementing the components of a business plan. So at the end of this session, we hope that students will be able to define what business planning is, list the key components of a business plan, and justify business planning and how it contributes to the success of a business. Shiva?
Yeah, dear class, what do you know about business plan? Can you answer this question, two questions in the poll? A business plan provide a roadmap for your future business and can increase the success. And second question is, business plan is only for larger business and not for small. Your answer in the poll. Are you able to answer in the poll?
Yes, they're answering.
Yeah. Provide roadmap and increase the chance. Yeah, 100% correct. For the second question, yeah, 97% correct. Yeah, excellent. You are having good understanding about business plan. Thank you, Miss Patricia.
So what is a business plan? And is having one really important? Well, let's find out.
So first, to kick off, what is a business plan and do I need one? Well, a business plan is a plan of how and what your business is going to do. You know, everything from revenue streams to expenses and the cost structure to who you're going to target, what your product is going to be, how you're going to market, and how you're going to get customers, who's the management team. You know, it's a rather all-encompassing piece. And you know, a lot of startups and entrepreneurs, you know, they just want to get going. They don't want to take the time, you know, to dig into a business plan. But, you know, there's a lot of different formats, which we'll discuss in a moment. But the important thing is, yes, you have to have a business plan. You wouldn't start building a house that you expect to hold up, you know, in all environments and to make it through hurricanes and make it through any other natural disaster unless you had a proper architecture plan of how to build it and what components to use. Same thing as with a business. You really need to understand what are all the key components that come together, how do they work together, who's going to do what, and really what it comes down to is you can't raise money if you don't have a business plan. So whether you want it or not, you'd love to just build your whole idea off the back of a napkin. If you want a business, you're going to have a plan you show, and you need to raise capital, of course. If you have a business and you want to raise capital, you're going to have a business plan to show somebody. So yes, you absolutely need to do it. But just for your own sake, if you're going to commit your time, your sweat equity, and maybe some of your own money, and particularly other people's money, you want to know that you've thought through all the details. Now, will a business plan change? Yes. Any component you put into a business plan in the beginning is really a guess or a hypothesis. You're going to guess This is the target market you're going to serve, at the price you're going to do, and the product you're going to make, and all the other details. But you don't really know until you get up and running. And that's really what the challenge of being an entrepreneur is about, is knowing how to identify all the key pieces of a business model that I need to identify, writing it into a business plan that I can execute. So yes, you need one, and it's going to be one of the core components of you being successful or potentially failing in your startup.
So in short, it is a document that defines in detail a company's objectives and how it will achieve them. And that's very, very important. Priscilla?
All right, so now that we just looked at why a business plan is so important, we are now going into what are the main sections of a business plan should you be called upon to write one. So class, anyone, you can go to the chat and tell me how many sections of the business plan you all are seeing right now. 7. Pamela, that is correct. 7, very good. Next slide, please. So we are seeing 7 main sections of the business plan. And the first section, it's really called an executive summary. It's the first page of your business plan, and it summarizes everything in terms of your business description, who are your workers, what raw materials you plan to utilize, how much financing you require, much like that birthday party that we discussed when we kick-started the session. Now, the funny part about writing a business plan is that although the executive summary appears as the first page, it's usually written last because it's a summary. So some of the main sections is describing your business, describing your products in detail in terms of their features, what is unique about your products or services, who are your customers, next slide please. Who are your customers, what prices you plan to charge. Other important questions addressed in your business plan would be where your business would be located, which is under the operations chapter. How will your business operate? Who would supply your raw materials? And very important would be your human resource plan. Who would be managing your business? That section would itemize your organization structure, your management team, what makes them so awesome, and also the categories of staff and the number of staff that are required. Last but not least, and a main element of the business plan really comes down to the financial plan. How much money is required to start the business? And also, what are your projected profits and losses and cash flows? All of that is encapsulated in the final chapter, chapter 7, which is called the financial plan. So there you have it, guys. Those are the main segments or components of a business plan. Next slide, please. Now we are going to do a nice participation activity. It's going to be a group activity. So I want you to follow the instructions that I'm about to give you now. And let's engage in this activity. So you are seeing a link in the chat. I want everyone to first go click on that link so it opens a new window in your computer. So do that now. Click on the link and make sure that it opens as a new window in your computer. The second thing is I'm going to ask you to go into your groups. We're going to form breakout groups, and you're going to go into your groups, the same group numbers that you were assigned in this course. So group 1 with the past members that just presented, group 2, group 3, group 4, you all would go into your group number, and then you will be part of that breakout group. And you're gonna utilize that link that I provided. It's a handout, and in that handout, you will receive what you're seeing here on the slide. Components of the business plan in orange, and the description, which is in yellow. And you are going to match the component with the correct description, right? Please know that there are more descriptions for the not listed components. So you have to be able to identify if one component has two descriptors or not. What you will do is in your handout, you will type the descriptor next to the component. So next to executive summary, you can type if it's A or B or C or D, whichever the answers are. All right. Are there any questions about this activity, this participatory learning activity? Okay, so let's go into our groups, and then naturally we would come back to the main room and we'd look at your answers. Have fun and good luck. Please join your breakout rooms. Can you all confirm if you all are seeing your breakout rooms? You just have
No, I'm not seeing mine. I'm still looking for it.
No,
That's
not
not
seeing
haven't
either.
joined.
I'm unable to join.
the breakout rooms were just created. Rachel, can you
Yes, they were created, but they will close in 5 seconds now because of time.
Okay, no problem. Could we ask the class to type in the chat box their answers to the components? If it's component executive summary dash A.
We do have some groups responding. So we do have group 1 had responded. Response started for group 3. Response for group 4 being present, and so forth. So we do have some group responses.
Okay, great.
So from what we can see, we have good responses. So group 1, group 3, group 4. Group 4 is correct. Group 1 mostly correct. Group 5 correct. Group 6. So let us go to our answers. So for group 1, for group 6, and a few others, our answers are for an executive summary. An executive summary is a component provides an overview of the entire business plan. Group answer B and D is market analysis, involves research and analysis of the target market and projected finance and examining market conditions. And then financial projections, as C and C, the component presents the projected financial statements. Shiva?
Thank you. Okay, we are going to end in the end of the session. So I want to know what you understand from this exercise. Please type in the chat box what you want to share to your friend who is about to start a business. Do a plan, do a business plan, that I need a plan, the business plan is important, create a plan, need a plan, okay. A component of a plan, the necessity of having a clear business plan before starting a business, and the need to adapt the business. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, good. Planning a party and a business is similar. Good. Okay, thank you. Now I request Ms. Pamela to summarize the session. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, all. Let's summarize. We defined what is a business plan and explored some of the key components, executive summary, business and product description, etc. And we explored the importance of a business plan and concurred that it is in fact very important. Next slide, please. Based on the information provided, can you just use your emoji to give us a thumbs up or down if the information provided today is useful? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm seeing it coming in. Gabrielle. Yes. Andrea, thank you so very much for that. Diane, Gideon. Yes, all of you. It was helpful. Next slide, please. Please don't leave this information here. Don't leave it on the slides or on your notepad. Turn it into action. Start planning your business today. These are some additional resources: a business plan video, 2 documents that will aid you in writing up a business plan to expand on the content which we did today. Please review them because we are going to build on these for the next class. So thank you all very much for being such an engaging audience. Any questions? Thank you.
One question, please. Is it an audience or a class? I guess
Class.
both.
Yes.
I'm just pulling your legs. Dr. Zephyrin, let's hear from our colleagues. Let me move this thing. Your feedback. Please unmute your mics and very quickly just comment. Remember, Dr. Zephyrin has posted links to the peer evaluation form. So while you are doing that, feel free to unmute your mic and just give a comment to your colleagues about the lesson.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I think it was interesting. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, we're hearing you, Janice.
I have one issue. I think the animation was a little bit distracting.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the feedback. Anything else? Anyone else?
I think it was
Yes,
very
Hazel.
engaging. Yes, hi guys, everyone. It's very engaging. Kept my attention.
Yes.
The use of the technology, I think, probably was a little bit much because it ended up going over time by a lot. But it was very engaging. Kept my attention throughout, and I think it kept to the objectives.
Yes. Thank you. One other comment. Siva Kumar, you have a comment?
No.
Thank you, Hazel.
We are the
Okay,
teachers.
I saw you come on screen. All right. Dr. Zephyrin. Well, I could probably go first this time and share very quickly. Thank you, colleagues, for those insightful comments. I do agree it was very engaging. It was cohesive, Dr. Zephyrin, yes. It was a cohesive lesson. The adherence to the BOPS guidelines was very clearly done. I liked the use of the breakout rooms for the participatory activity. And I also liked the handout that would have become a shared resource. So Janelle is saying she liked the tips on business planning and the analogy of a business plan to a birthday party. Yes, yes. Yes, I appreciate that a lot too. Rachel, it was you who started off, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you do drama?
No, I'm just dramatic. I'm sorry.
It was really engaging, yes, really engaging. So another excellent job, Dr. Zephyrin. I think I wouldn't, I'm, anyway, let me not say that yet. But as Dr. Zephyrin said, it's less about marks and more about our professional development. And we're dealing with brilliant people. We're getting some brilliant micro teaching demonstrations. So I'll hand over to Dr. Zephyrin.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Jones. I think, first of all, Michelle, you caught me by surprise because you started with a bang with that story. I like that twist because it was almost like you used storytelling, which is a teaching strategy in itself, but you did it in a sort of engaging, I don't want to say dramatic, engaging way. And I didn't know you had that side in you. So it reminded me of, there was a commercial back in, well, not that far back, but a standards commercial, I think it was, with and it was a song, but it was the same kind of energetic vibe. So it was really good. And I like that. I don't know whose idea it was, but to have the visuals complement the storytelling. Because you had things on screen like when I can't remember the character's name.
Darlene.
Right. Who was trying to plan a birthday party, and they had the calendar there with the the little animations and so on there. So I found that was very creative, and it helped to the way it linked with your lesson, but not your lesson, sorry, the story you were telling. It allowed for easier understanding for us to follow because it started, with a bang. So the visuals to complement it were very good. I like that from that there was a smooth segue to from that bridging to establishing learning outcomes, which is spot on. The ICTs or the technology and the visuals were quite appropriately integrated. The lecturette, and I say no lecture because it's a mini lecture, right? So that part where you had the slideshow and I think you were explaining the components of a business plan. I think initially I was thinking, okay, well, instead of telling us what the components of a business plan, you may consider just, the established general components, each, I think it was like 7 of them. And then you could ask us what we think each one is about, or incrementally do so. But then, so that's what I thought at first, but then you went into the breakout group lesson part, a component of it, which sort of went into that. So that was pretty good because it helped us gave us an opportunity to recall what was just presented. I like the way you guys recovered from before I get into that, I was wondering if the breakout group activity was, maybe it may not have been the best or most appropriate activity given the little time you had. Because I was wondering, okay, how long this will take, given that I think at that time you had roughly about 5 more minutes or less to do that activity, and of course to wrap up and consolidate things and so on. So I wasn't sure if a breakout group activity of that nature was going to be the best thing. Whereas if it was done like as a whole class, and we go through each slide individually or something of that sort instead of the breakout group and so on. But when you did encounter the hiccup with the breakout rooms, I think it was a good recovery. All right, with the technical hiccup, that was good. I think the attempt to go into the breakout room took away from the time, the allotted time for the lesson, the duration. So it went a little bit over, but I think, yeah, once you look at the activities and what may be deemed as necessary versus what may be like icing on the cake, or how to navigate, how to find a less time consuming activity, or like how you did that storytelling in the beginning. That was really good because it was a quick way to do, to tell the story, to get our attention and introduce the learning outcomes. So a simple thing like an overall class activity instead of the individual group work would have been probably a time saver in that regard. But you didn't go over by much, so that wasn't too bad. So those are my comments. I don't know if everyone was able to complete the link I shared for group 2. All right. Any questions
Dr.
you
Zephyrin?
might have?
Just a quick comment to extend the feedback you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
So I concur with you. But I'm thinking the conceptualization in terms of the participatory learning, I think was spot on. And that is very, very evident. So notwithstanding, in my opinion, the time constraints with which it is a micro, I'm looking toward the way in which the lesson was conceptualized. So I agree with you. For a full length lesson, it would have worked really well. And so I say, well, I give a thumbs up for thinking it through and conceptualizing the whole thing to include a significant component where it comes to getting people to engage in cooperative learning. So I say hats off for that. Yes, thumbs up. Thank you.
Good. I think we could go to group three now. Group two, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much. And it's good to see the cameras turned on and you see the faces and and whatnot and whatnot. Very good. Thank you so much, group two. And now we go